I remember there were lots of students who were really involved in this process. It wasn't just the four of us. I know that there were students, especially if I remember like the Gay and Lesbian Student Association, there were a lot of female students in that group who were very active, who felt that the media wasn't interested at all in hearing from them.
Somehow we kind of became the point people in a way. I think originally the administration wanted us to kind of toe the party line or say that things weren't that bad. And we were like, well, hey, while we have the spotlight, while the media is focused on this, that was the only thing that was getting the university's attention and getting the university to move at all, unfortunately. So we did interviews with the New York Times and Chicago Tribune. Lisa Bilowitz was on the cover of Ms. Magazine, along with some other student activists, and we did Donahue.
I got a call from Vartan Gregorian himself, and I had very little contact with him at that point because I was lower on the food chain and there were several people in between me and him. But he called and said, I want you to go on Donahue.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly also want to at least say that I'm not an official spokesperson for the university. I work at the university, I'm representing the university, but...
You're not a spokesman for the university. Well, everybody's tap dancing pretty fast here.
Before we went out to do the show, we had to sign releases. And the name of the release, we had this big release we had to sign, and the title of the show was Rape, Murder, and Revenge on College Campuses. And we said, well, what's the murder about? They said, well, that's just the name of the show. And we said, but nobody's been murdered. We're not going to sign a release saying the name of the show is Rape, Murder, and Revenge on College Campuses when nobody's been murdered. And so they ended up scratching the murder out, and then we signed the release.
The media has trivialized this, okay, in my opinion. This is a serious topic. This is a very important topic. We don't want to be divided on this topic either. And I think that, unfortunately, when this happens, we set ourselves up for some sort of trivialization or even being used or exploited, and that makes me unhappy.
I'd like to speak to that because I think Brown University has, in the past, trivialized the issue to an incredible degree. If people think writing on the wall is ludicrous, I think it's ludicrous that when a man pleads guilty to rape, the only punishment for him is that he has to write the victim, or I prefer to say survivor, an apology note, or that a note is sent to his football coach. So I think while Brown encourages students to speak out on some issues, they silence them on others.
I saw where the students were coming from. I understood them that they had very legitimate complaints about the way sexual assault was being handled on our campus. It was being handled poorly everywhere. The fact is it's probably still today handled poorly on many campuses. But we got really good and better than most places fast because of this kind of activism. It really was a wake-up call, and everybody in the administration started to really pay attention because the limelight was on the campus.
Why did it take women resorting to writing on bathroom walls to get the attention of the university? It should never have come to that. But really, it was like the only safe place. So, you know, if you wanted to warn other women or vent about your own frustration and humiliation trying to go through the system.